Hi everyone and welcome back to another by Gabriella video. It has been a while, a couple of months to be exact, but we're back today and I thought I would just give you a little bit of knowledge into what I do as a full-time blogger, my day-to-day activities, sponsor content, creating content for your Instagram, the apps I use to edit pictures, and yeah, just give you a bit of an insight into blogging full-time. So I'm going to answer some of the questions that you've sent me. Over the months, I always keep a collection of questions that I'm asked about the blogging industry because I thought it would be quite an interesting video to film. So I do have a list from all of you lovely people that have ever sent me questions about what I do. So the first one, and probably the most obvious one, is what is a day-to-day routine for you? So a day-to-day routine for me is just more often than not going to the gym or going to a fitness class. I try and do that really early because I'm not the sort of person that absolutely loves the gym and eats, sleeps and breathes working out. So yeah, I will try and go to the gym first thing. I'm actually taking part in an 8-week challenge at the moment with F45. So yeah, I am gymming most mornings at the moment. And then I will come back and I will set myself up on my laptop. I do like to be on my laptop for around 9 o'clock just so that I feel like I am in an office setup and that I'm still working normal office hours. That for me just makes me feel better. Replying to emails, arranging meetings. I'm trying at the moment to not go to meetings and events every single day because it does just mean that you're not actually creating content whilst you're out and about. So yeah, generally I will try and group together launch events, meetings for 2 to 3 days a week. And then on the other days, I will mainly just be working from my flat, to be honest, or I'll work from a cafe. And that will be writing blog posts, editing pictures, maintaining relationships with PRs, which is really important in order to get any sort of brand collaborations in. I will then probably shoot some stuff around my flat, whether it's shooting flat lays of products. Okay, so question 2, do you need a photographer? Definitely not in the beginning. I don't think you need a professional photographer. Luke filming me is shaking his head. But no, I don't believe you need a professional photographer when you first launch your blog. It's very much something that comes much further down the line. I do believe that you need almost a partner in crime. You need someone who you can work with, who you don't feel judges you, who you don't feel, doesn't have a clue what they're doing, who you feel comfortable in front of. Because at the end of the day, you have to really get used to having pictures taken of yourself. So very much get someone who can use a camera to start with, but who you very much feel comfortable having your picture taken with. Not with in the picture, but who is behind the lens. Be that a family member, a flatmate, a friend. Make sure it is someone that you do feel very confident in front of. So question 3 is, when should I quit my job and go into blogging full time? Which is a good question, and that's really hard to answer because I can't really answer that for you. I think you definitely need, whilst you're working full time, to be building up your following, building up your readership as much as possible, because you do need to have a presence before you can take the leap and start creating content for brands or even being approached by brands. Start it out as a hobby is definitely my advice, and keep it going and try and create as much content as you possibly can when you have a full-time job. Perhaps then switch to a part-time job and very much keep the momentum going before you finally take the leap, because it takes a long time for blogging to be able to support you financially full-time. So question 4, how do you choose who to work with? Now again, it is quite a difficult question because in the beginning it's really hard. You want to say yes to everyone because it's money and it seems exciting at the time. But I think for blogging to become a full-time job and to keep that longevity going, you very much do need to be selective. Whatever the brand is, you have to have a passion towards it because, like I just said, that really does come across in your content. So question 5 is, should I create content that I'm not being paid for? And the answer to that is absolutely. You can't be paid for everything that you do, and at the end of the day you're a blogger and you should blog because you love blogging. You love writing, you love trialing products, or styling up outfits or visiting amazing locations. That's your passion. So I every day take pictures of products, put up videos of products that I love, and I'm not being paid to always do it. And as well as the fact that people will love to see that. Brands will also notice that. And you may never have worked with, for example, I don't know, L'Oreal before, but if they see you put up a video talking about a product that you clearly love, getting that visibility out there and the brand awareness, they will perhaps then want to work with you, having seen the content that you've created. So definitely one of my biggest bits of advice is to always create content that isn't paid for. So question number 6 is, how do you know who your followers are? Now that's quite a vague question, but I think what that question means is, do I understand the age of my followers? Do I understand who they are, where they're from, what their interests are? And the answer is yes. I do very much think you definitely have to get to know your followers. You have to understand what content they like from you, what content they don't like, you know, where they live, what their age range is, and you get to know that from analytics, whether it's Google Analytics for your blog, whether it's the Instagram analytics. I would definitely recommend, when setting up an Instagram page for your blog, that you switch it to a business account. So most of you will have personal accounts. The minute you switch to a business account, you have analytics available with that. And that will tell you, you know, the gender of your audience, the age, where they're from, the time that they come on Instagram the most, which days, which hours, which is really invaluable, because that will then teach you when to post, when not to post. So yeah, definitely get a business account. So question 7 is, how did you grow your audience? So unfortunately, there's no really quick way of growing your audience. I mean, it's more, there's a really fine line when you're trying to grow a social presence. There's a fine line between not posting enough and posting too much. And I think, you know, when it comes to blog posts, you should definitely be aiming for 3 to 4 blog posts a week to start with. Some people post every day. That doesn't really work for me, because I also have a YouTube channel. I have, you know, brand collaborations where I'm teaming up with brands and creating content for their own channels, with the social media side of it as well, insofar as Instagram, creating content for that. It's quite hard to maintain a blog post every day. But I think, yeah, like I said, there is a fine line between not creating enough and creating too much. So I think when it comes to Instagram, I try to post twice a day, but I won't force it. If some days I don't have anything to post, then I'm not going to put something up for the sake of it. So yeah, I think definitely creating constant content is a way of growing your audience, and creating really good quality content, rather than just, you know, snapping a picture of a product on your dressing table and uploading it. It's creating something that always looks amazing, but is also relatable to you and your own brand, and not over posting, because if you start spamming people with constant content, they are going to get fed up of seeing it, and they're not going to engage as much. I think as well, your engagement will drop if you're a bit overbearing with the content. Okay, so question number 8, which apps do you use to edit your photos? Right, well, I use generally 3. First of all, I will use Snapseed, and that will be just to alter the lighting in the picture. So generally I will brighten it up a little bit, I might alter the contrast slightly, I will generally up the ambience of the picture, I will always up the structure so that it's a sharper image. I might alter the highlights and the shadows of the picture, so I'll get the lighting spot on. Then I will put the photo generally into an app called VSCO, which a lot of bloggers use, and that will be to put kind of a filter over it slightly. I have quite a warm filter running through my pictures on Instagram. It's kind of an orangey tone. So I will then put the photo into VSCO, and I will apply, usually I use A5 or A6, the filter within VSCO. And then finally, I will often put my photo into Facetune, and within Facetune, I might just, you know, slightly smooth out imperfections if it's a very close-up shot, wearing makeup. I think again, it's knowing the type of shot. If you're speaking about a skincare product, then I don't think you should be altering imperfections. I think you should be showing the real results. But if it's, you know, an outdoor street shot, and you just want the shot to look as attractive as possible, then I personally don't think there's any harm in highlighting your best parts. So be that, whitening up your teeth or whitening up your eyes. You can alter the structure as well in Facetune. You can amp up the details of things. So you could, for example, amp up the detail of this shirt. You could highlight my necklace. You could add structure to your hair. So there's quite a lot you can do in Facetune just to kind of fine tune certain aspects of your picture. So yeah, they are the 3 apps that I mainly use: Snapseed, VSEO and Facetune. Okay, so question number 9, how did you set up your blog? Okay, well, I was quite lucky with my blog. I worked very closely with a marketing agency who also specialise in website building, and they built it for me. That agency is called Zing Marketing. I will link them below. And they built my website for me. It's housed within WordPress. So for me, WordPress is really, really easy to use. It's great for uploading content myself because it's great to get to grips with. But yeah, I was lucky in that respect that I could work with an agency. But in terms of maintaining it, I very much do that myself. I upload all the posts myself. I handle the SEO myself. So yeah, I obviously recommend WordPress because that's what I use, and I'm not familiar with any of the other platforms that can host your website. Okay, so final question, question 10 is, do you need a USP to stand out as a blogger? That is quite a difficult question, and yes, you absolutely do. I don't think you will know your USP straight away. I think it will come to you over time. For me, I think I started out as a journalist. I was a health and beauty journalist for 6 years. And so I come from quite an analytical, research-based background where you very much have to report back with facts. As a journalist, you can't just write about what you visually see in a product and how it looks on your skin. You need facts and you need statistics. So I come from that sort of background, so I very much research into every product I write about, and I will go to experts to get expert knowledge. I will speak to dermatologists, nutritionists, facialists, whoever that might be. So I hope that when I do write about products in particular, that it comes with quite a lot of knowledge behind it. So yeah, I guess that is my USP, being a journalist for a long time before I then moved over into the blogging world. So that is the end of my blogging intro for today. Hopefully I answered all of your questions. If I didn't, please do leave them in the comments box below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.